Hey everybody, today we are going to be drawing a South African elephant. The first thing you need to do is make sure that your paper is turned the tall way so you have plenty of room to draw your elephant. We're going to do just a little bit of measuring before we get started. We want to start the top of our elephant's head about 2 fingers from the top of our paper. So I'm going to actually put my fingers right about in the center at the top and put a little tiny dot there just so I know where that top center is, because that's kind of what I'm aiming for. When I draw his head, I'm going to draw an oval shape that comes up and around, but it's going to stay open at the bottom. It's really important that it stays open at the bottom right now. So here's what it looks like. I'm going to draw a nice big oval shape up and around, but I'm going to leave it open at the bottom. And that opening is really important because this is where his trunk is going to come out of his face. Now, before we draw the trunk, we're going to go ahead and add some ears on here. So I'm going to start towards the top of his head here, and I'm going to make on this side, I'm going to start on this side and make a big C shape that comes out and around. So I'm going to come up, out, big and around, and connect back to his head. You want those ears to be nice and big. On this side, it's going to be a backward C shape. Same thing, this time backward. So we're going to start up here, come up and around, and bring it back in. Perfect. All right, we're ready to start his trunk. So I'm going to start not right at the bottom of his head here, but I'm going to come in just a little bit, and I'm going to make a big smile line that comes over here. So I'm going to start right here and go down and make a big smile line. On this side, it's going to start out wide, but it's going to come around and then get skinny as it gets to that point. So I'm going to start up here and bring it around and make it a little bit skinnier. And then we can close that shape up. There's the end of his trunk. And we can also go ahead and connect the rest of his head to where his trunk is. Just like that. If we want to make it look like it is connected, we can add a little line here at the top. And then to make this look three-dimensional, like it's curving, if I start on the edge and make a curved line part way across, it'll make it look like it's three-dimensional. And I can put a few of those wrinkles on his nose. Put a few right there too. All right, up here on his face, we need to add some eyeballs. You can make any type of eyeballs that you want, but I'm gonna go ahead and just keep mine pretty simple. I'm gonna make a circle, and I'll put a little circle inside of that for reflection. Remember, don't color it in because we don't color with our pencils or our permanent markers. And we're going to put a circle on this side with a little reflection. There we go, there's my elephant's head. All right, I'm ready to make his body. Now his body needs to be big, and it's gonna go from the bottom of his head all the way down to the bottom of my paper. It needs to touch down here. So I'm gonna start right here at the bottom of his, I'm actually gonna start at the bottom of his ear, not the bottom of his head. I'm gonna start right here at the bottom of his ear, and I'm gonna bring it all the way down until it touches the bottom of my paper. Your elephant might be a little bit shorter or a little bit taller, depending on how big you made his head, but you want to make sure that you go all the way to that bottom edge. All right, I'm going to do the other side. Now, I'm going to just barely run into his trunk. So right here, I'm going to stop and jump over and start again on the other side. You might run into more of his trunk. Make sure you go over it. You jump over it and not through it. All right, I'm gonna bring in my line. I'm gonna come in about 2 fingers, and I'm gonna make a line going up for a leg. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, 2 fingers, and bring that line up for his leg. And then we're gonna connect these across, just like that. Now he's got 2 legs. And you know what he needs at the bottom of his legs? He needs some toes. So down here at the bottom of his foot, I'm gonna add some nice big toenails. And I'll put some nice big toenails on this side, just like that. Now, right now, he only has 2 legs, and we know that elephants have 4 legs. So we're gonna actually add 2 more legs, but we're just gonna show part of them. So in between these 2 legs, I'm gonna come up above his toenails. I'm gonna make a line that comes in and then go straight up like this. And this is the back leg on the left side. So I'm gonna add some toenails, just like that. And then I'm gonna do the back leg on this side. On his right side, I'm gonna come up the same amount and I'm gonna go over. This time's a little tricky though because we don't have a stopping point till we get up to his ear. So we're gonna actually go all the way up to his ear. And then we'll make some toenails on this one. And there you go. You can see his front legs and his back legs a little bit. The last thing that we're gonna add to our elephant, we're gonna add a tail, and we're just gonna make a little rectangle kind of coming out from the back. And you can connect it. And I like to make an upside down teardrop like this to make the bottom of, or the end of his tail just like that. All right, our elephant is done. You are gonna spend the rest of your time adding color. Good job, friends.